Hey guys, Tinker Taylor here today, bringing you back another Pokemon build series video. So today we have Golbat, who is a poison flying type and is the second evolution, or the next evolution of Zubat. It is still mostly a blue coloured bat with purple wings, but the ears are a lot smaller, the mouth is a lot larger, much more sharp pointy teeth, and this one has eyes. So yeah, with this one I wrote down in my little list of ideas for each Pokemon a vampire nightclub, and originally I was gonna do like a when you think of nightclub, like a nightclub like that, you know, like a dance floor and a bar and that sort of stuff. But then I got to thinking more and I was like, you know what? Vampires, I mean, yeah, they probably do, I'm sure they do visit nightclubs, but why don't I do something a bit more like, I don't know how else to put it, but like a club of the night instead of a nightclub, if that makes any sense. So, you know, like at nighttime they all come here and they all hang out and do vampire-y type things. I could not tell you what vampires do, to be honest, as I am not one, and I'm kind of planning to keep it that way. You know, the whole living forever thing, that could be good, but not really being able to go out in daylight. Yeah, I kind of like the day. I'm kind of scared of the dark a little bit. So yeah, maybe not. Also, I don't think drinking blood it's not really all that appealing to me, to be perfectly honest with you guys. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would have to pass on living forever. I think that's where I stand on that. But yeah, I thought it'd be cool to do sort of like a night club-esque theme. So yeah, it is a place where all of your night creatures can come to hang out. This used to be someone's house, but they've since converted it into a club, and just don't question the third floor. It's totally normal, totally fine. Nothing weird or suspicious going up there at all. Also, this is the third attempt at this build, so I was streaming this build and I started to build the exterior a little bit and I couldn't get it to work the way I wanted it to, so I deleted it twice, and yeah, this is the third one and I made it work. Now, is it perfect? No. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, no. Victorian styled builds are definitely something I'm not very comfortable with. It's something that I feel a little odd doing. I don't know, it's just something I'm not very comfortable with. It's not really my style or something that I really enjoy doing, but it kind of really fit the vibe of this build. Like, it made sense to be Victorian, so that's what I did. Excuse me, it's been a while since I've yawned in a video. To be fair, it's also been a while since I have done a video this late compared to when I normally do them. Because I streamed yesterday, I was able to get 2 builds done, and I feel really happy about that because, yeah, I was able to really get in and smash out some work, and because of that, I'm now getting ahead, which is absolutely fantastic, because next month I feel like I am going to be either absolutely smashed and just busy beyond all belief, or not, because I got called up for jury duty and I also have a wedding to attend, and they clash, and so I'm trying to figure out like how to get a shorter jury. Like, they say you can talk to the people there and get a shorter trial, but I haven't done that yet, so yeah, I need to, well, I mean, I can't do that until I actually go talk to them, but I also need to submit some paperwork so that I have some proof behind it. But the problem is I don't want them, like when I submit the paperwork, I don't want them just cancelling and being like, nah, we'll just kick this drawer off, because I've been called up 3 times in the past 18 months. Every 6 months I get called up. But also at the same time, if I do get it cancelled this time and I do get called up in 6 months' time, that'd probably be a bit more manageable for me. So maybe I do that. Maybe I submit the paperwork, and if they cancel me and call me up in 6 months, I'll go and serve in 6 months, because in 6 months' time there isn't anything that I currently have planned. There's no events that I have. I have something in December, I have something in June. I actually have 2 things in June. I actually have 2 things in December, actually. Yeah, I've got things that I do need to do, but in 6 months' time, they're not... I don't have anything currently... I don't want to say prepared or planned, but there's nothing currently going on. So that kind of actually works for me. Although if I was smart, I would pre-plan a holiday for September, so that if I did get called up again, I could be like, oh, look, I'm busy. But to be honest with you guys, I just wanna serve jury duty so that I don't get called up again. That's all I want to do. It's just do my job, my duty. Do what needs to be done, and then not worry about it for like hopefully another 3 years. Because I looked it up. There's people who are saying like I keep being called, and then I get there and then they send me home, and I keep being called up like so many times, and it's so annoying. And then people in the comments were saying, yeah, I got called up, and I actually did serve, and they didn't call me up for another 3 years after that. And 3 years, that sounds pretty good. I'll take that. My issue is that I do move quite a bit, and it seems that every time I move to a new jurisdiction, like a new government area, I guess. And because of that, I get put back on the jury duty role, and I get called. And it's always me. I mean, like, the people I live with, we've all moved. None of them have been called up in the 18 months that I have. In fact, I was speaking to some of them, and some of them were saying that only once have they been called up in their entire lifetime. And I live with people of varying ages, and the person who's been called up once is the oldest of the household. And yeah, older than me by quite a bit. And yeah, they were saying they got called up once, and it would have been an interesting case for them. But yeah, I just I'm so, I don't want to say mad at like being called up. Like I just want to do it so I can get it over and done with, I don't think anyone wants to really do jury duty, but it is a part of how the criminal justice system here works. Is you do kind of have to sit on a jury at some point, and it's how you make the criminal justice system a bit more equal, because you're being judged by your peers. But also I do know there's some flaws with the system and whatnot, but we won't get into that. The point is, I know I'm supposed to do it, and I'm gonna do it. I just want to get it over and done with so I don't have to do it again. I've been called up 4 times in my life. 4 times. And there are people I know who, like I said, yeah, like, much older than me and been called up once in their life. And I think it should be a little bit more even. I think that people should be called up a little more often. Not like it should be more even across people. I do understand that some people can't be called up, and because of conflicts of interest and whatnot. If you are someone who works within the legal realm, I understand why legal people cannot be called up, and I get that. And I'm not saying people who can't be called up, but I'm saying people who absolutely can be called up and should be called up more often. Basically, I'm just saying, can you, if you work in the government, can you call up my roommates instead of me next time, please? because, yeah, I'll do it, but they haven't been called up at all. But there are some reasons why other reasons why you don't have to be called up, such as if you are a caregiver. So yeah, if you're a caregiver, then you don't have to. You have certain job statuses, like I said, like being a legal person, like a lawyer or whatever, or if you are a sole trader or a contractor, because that's a little, like, being a sole trader, you're a little less solid in your work, I guess. Obviously, if you're sick, or have some sort of medical issue, or a mental issue, or mental or physical impairment, these things can stop you from being called up, but there's really nothing beyond a pre-booked holiday that I have, but I don't know if my pre-booked holiday counts because I didn't book it. Like I said, I'm going on holiday. I'm going to a wedding, but I didn't book it. I didn't pay for it. I didn't, like, I'm a part of the wedding, but like I'm not getting married, so I'm not the one booking it and paying for it. I'm just attending it. I mean, I say I'm just attending it. I'm one of the, I don't want to say bridal party or groom's party or whatever, because it's not really, it's not much of a traditional wedding, but I'm a key person in it, so I'm hoping if I submit the paperwork will be all good, but yeah, it's just, I don't know why every 6 months I get called up. Anyway, probably should talk about the build, hey? I do that quite often. I'll come in here and I'll just start rambling about random things, and then realize, oh, hey, you guys are probably here for the build. Probably should talk about that. So yeah, like I was saying, it is a club for people who are active during the night. So, you know, you don't just have to be a vampire, you could also be a night owl, or a creature or critter who also prefers the night. I mean, it doesn't even have to be that you can only function at night. It's sometimes it can be a preference. Like for me, in summer, I prefer to go out late. I say late. I prefer to go out when the sun is starting to set, because it's starting to get cooler, and it'll only get cooler from there, and yeah, like it's more enjoyable, but that does mean going out much later. When I was doing my daily walks in January, I would be having dinner and then going on my walks, and now it's kind of getting to the point where if I have dinner early, I can still go for walks, but if we have dinner late, I should have gone to the walk earlier. And I only do afternoon, evening walks in summer just because it's so hot during the day. I don't want to get sunburn, I don't want to get heat stroke, I don't want to, deal with any of that. So I do kind of go towards the end of the day, like when the sun is setting and whatnot. But during the winter, I prefer going out during the day because it's cold, and that is the warmest part of the day, is during the day. During the night, absolutely miserable. There's been times where I've gone out and ended up coming back home late, and because I've come home late, it's freezing, and it doesn't matter how many layers I'm wearing, I am shivering so much that I'm in so much pain. It's ridiculous. I don't do well in the cold. I mean, I don't really do well in the heat either, but I deal better with the heat than I do the cold. So I guess what I'm saying is during the summer I am a night person, and during the winter I'm a day person. And I think that's good, because during the summer you get a lot of sunlight. And so winter is the season where people typically get seasonal affective disorder, which, side note, the acronym for that is SAD, and the reason you are sad is because it's like they connect. I find it kind of humorous, but also it's, yeah. Anyway, seasonal affective disorder. Yeah, during the winter you get less sunlight, and it just feels a little bit more miserable to some people, and that's why some people do get seasonal affective disorder. Which, if you do, I totally understand that. It's not great. But I find, because I go out during the day more in the winter and less in the summer, that I kind of stay somewhat consistent in terms of sun. I mean, yes, I still get way more sun in summer, but I still get out and get sunlight during the winter, which helps reduce or remove that sort of seasonal affective disorder, and it really does help. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, this part of the build we can just pretend it's normal. Like, there's nothing weird going on up here. There's no weird cages to put people in, and yeah, it's fine. It's not at all a little human cage area so that the vampires can have a place to drink. But don't worry, the people who are here are all people who are willing and choosing to be here of their own free will. And the only reason why they are in a cage is because, just in case they get turned during the process, it's like a vampire-proof cage that they can't get out of, so that they have time to deal with becoming a vampire and dealing with let's say the urges and the feelings that are accompanied with it. So it is for safety reasons, to keep the rest of the world safe. They're not forcibly holding people there. So yeah, don't worry too much about that. Although if you are somebody who breaks in here, don't be surprised if you end up in one of the cages as punishment, because you did trespass. This is private property and they're going to hold you there just until the police arrive, and the police will take you away. Maybe they're human police, maybe they're vampire police, I don't know. That's something you'll have to figure out. I'm not risking it. I'm respecting this somebody else's establishment, and I'm not gonna break in. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I put out I think they're like the morning flowers. I don't know what else to call them, but it's like it's like a wreath, and it's supposed to be for morning, but I was saying in Twitch chat that it is probably like they're celebrating someone's death day, because vampires are technically dead. They're celebrating the day someone got turned or something like that, so they're having a big old party here, and it is just something they're celebrating, and so they put that wreath out for the celebration, and for them it's a celebration, and I think that's nice. I think sometimes, I don't know, there's some cultures that very much celebrate someone's life once they have reached the end of it, and I think it's beautiful. I think it can be very heartbreaking and sad, but I think also to celebrate the person who's been there is also extremely important, because people leave legacies and impact and meaning and whatnot, and even if it might not be impacting the whole entire world, it's still enough that it matters to someone. I have lost people in my life, and like I said, they're not people who have made impacts on the entire world, who have created these wonderful magical things for everybody on the planet, but they did that for me, and that's what's important to me, is just celebrating these people. So yeah, I also do try and celebrate the people who are still with me now, and I think it's very important to celebrate everyone. No matter what you have achieved, if it's you could come up with a cure or a medication for an illness and be celebrated, or you could create a piece of art that makes at least one person feel good, and that all should be celebrated. And I do understand that there's a big difference between curing a disease and painting something that makes one person feel good. I do understand there is a huge difference between the two, but I also believe that even the little things should be celebrated, because it's little things that can lead to bigger things. And you know, you could be arguing how could looking at a piece of art make someone feel good? Like, how is that leading to huge things? But like, maybe the team of people who worked on that cure for that disease, maybe the person who found the breakthrough was the person who looked at that piece of art and it inspired them to find that breakthrough. You know, you never know how your actions in the world can affect other people, and that's why I always believe in just trying to sprinkle a little bit of niceness and positivity in people's lives. You know, I think just a little sprinkle here and there of positivity. And again, it's nothing too big, nothing too like overbearing, and you know, I'm not saying force feed everyone positivity, but you know, if there's something that someone's done, even if it is little, you know, last night I was chatting with one of my really, really good friends, and I said to them, you know, you're very important to me. I want you to know that, and I hope that your future holds great things, because you know, I want to see you happy. And apparently they really, really needed to hear something like that. And it's stuff like that. Like, I didn't intend to go in there and be like, oh, you know, I want to make you feel fantastic and great. And it was just like, you know, I don't think I've ever said this to you before, and I think you should know that. And they really needed to hear that. So, you know, it's stuff like that. You know, just bringing a sprinkling of, you know, I took 10 minutes out of my day just to have a chat with this person, to say that I value them and I love them and I hope they're doing well. And it really, really helped them. And that's all I think we should do in the world, is just remind each other that we are loved and valued and important to each other, because someday some people really need to hear that. And yeah, just in case you haven't heard it today, I value you and I think you're important, even if I don't know you, even if I've never met you before, even if, you know, you guys and I are two completely separate worlds apart who'll never meet, never cross, never whatever. I still think you are important. I think everybody on this planet is important, and everybody has a place here, and everybody deserves to feel loved and valued and appreciated. And that goes for you too. Even if you don't believe it about yourself, I do, and I'm not going to change my beliefs. You are important, and I want you to feel that, and I want you to believe that. So yeah. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here and listening to me ramble in this video, and hopefully I could make you feel a bit better. But until then, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.